Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Pieces of Talent, where the actors don't break legs, they lose them.
Written and directed by Joe Stauffer, starring David Long, Kristi Ray, and Barbara Weetman. The essence of this movie is that a young actress meets a director. They charm one another, and he says, "I'm working on a project." She begins to like him, and he's doing these wild and crazy movies that are just, murders. To explain it is simple, but everything behind it is not. What do we like about this movie, guys?
Being that it is an indie horror, this was very, very well done. It is probably one of the nicest looking films that I've ever seen. Cinematography through sound, I thought everything was phenomenal. They even cut in with a few little artistic short films halfway through the movie, and they all looked stellar. Everything looked and sounded great.
Just thinking that this is an indie film, it's mind-blowing because everything was just perfectly done. It looked beautiful, the colors were great, everything was just perfect as how you wanted it to look.
Even when you compare this film to a Coen Brothers film, you watch this, you can't even really tell the difference. And the Coen Brothers, they win awards. They are top quality filmmakers. And this is an indie film that I would say is on par with them.
I do want to shout out, I don't know the name of the people behind sound design other than Joe Stauffer, but whoever did all the Foley effects, which is all those just people picking up wood and people scraping things. All of those sound effects were so well done, and I've never called that out in a film that we reviewed ever, but it was worth mentioning because they were so good.
This movie, its story, I thought was really well done. It was very cohesive and it draws you in. You're interested to see what's going to happen.
What I really enjoyed about this film was the use of practical effects. Each and every single kill was awesome. There wasn't a lot, but everyone we saw on screen was well executed. Especially the one scene where David Long has this guy tied up and he spits into the camera and the camera moves in one smooth motion that you don't even notice the transition between them replacing the body with a practical head. And just the way they executed it was fantastic.
It's all about the emotions of the kill and the psychology of the kill. If they went too crazy, it would probably take you out of it.
We have to talk about the acting because I thought the acting, every single person played their role so well. David Long was incredibly awesome in this film. He was so good. When him and Charlotte, played by Kristi Ray, were in the van, that scene really showed how good these two actors are because they seem completely natural. They talk like regular people and they stutter over their words and they just did so well.
With the overall production value and the cinematography, I found the use of dolly shots were fantastic. The one scene where it's just tracking along the lake and the lower thirds, David comes in there, that was just so beautiful.
What don't we like about this movie, guys? I think some of the dialogue, I think it wasn't as natural sounding or seeming. It's being a little nitpicky, but I felt like the dialogue could have been punched up a little. That was probably my biggest complaint.
As a whole, I found the characters were well developed, but the relationship between Charlotte and her mother I found was a little flat compared to everything else in the film. But then we get this cut-in shot of her mom saying how proud she was, but it really didn't have anything to do with the film, as we found out later on. So to me, it just felt out of place.
What she was actually doing was pinning it on herself. She's like, oh, she got all of her talent from me. I'm glad she's out doing this, but it's all because of me and because I raised her to do this kind of thing. I don't agree that she was saying how proud she was.
Yeah, well, it's obvious where she got the talent from. From me.
The moment that David and Charlotte were having, and then throwing that in there, and then going back to the moment, it just felt out of place for me.
Fair enough.
The same complaint could be made about David's motivations, because you get his motivations kind of 3/4 in, which was fine. I think if they left it out, it's fine, him just being a maniac. It's fine if he's just going out doing his thing. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings.
I loved this film. I thought it was beautiful and I thought it sounded great. It was just one of the most well put together movies that I've ever seen. From the character development to the acting, which was phenomenal. I thought everything was really solid. So I'm going to give this 5 rack focus shots out of 5 stressing the rack.
We found out about this movie at a convention, and I was talking with David Long, who I realized is very talented, and I did not know that then. And then 13th Wolfman even recommended it. So we're like, okay, we have to get to this movie, which is very hard for us to do, trust us. I thought it was great. It was a thriller, it was emotional, it was psychological. It's not the average film that we usually do. It blends a lot of different things. So I really liked it. All the pieces fell together. So my rating will be 4 decapitated head bowling pins out of 5.
I greatly enjoyed Pieces of Talent. I found this film was well shot and well executed. It was like a Coen Brothers film. They even had the whole bowling scene like in Big Lebowski. It was just so well done. It was clever. Each character was awesome, especially David Long, and I loved the practical effects. This film was really cool and I highly recommend it. So that being said, I'm going to give this film 4 intense crime scene puns out of 5.
Well, John, I guess they should have quit while they were still ahead.
Check out the movie at piecesoftalent.com. You can buy it there, and as of right now, you can stream it for free. So definitely check it out.
As always, thanks for watching. If you've seen it, comment below with your thoughts, like this video, and if you haven't seen it, check out that link, son. Anyway, to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and Beyond is doing, make sure you subscribe.